Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Let me give you the latest update not only in the tropics, what's going on with this heat wave and the severe weather we do have happening. This right here, your PTC1, your potential tropical cyclone 1, it is going to turn into tropical storm Alberto. Matter of fact, if you take a look at it, the computer model, this is the same satellite data that everyone else gets, is already showing that it's already becoming a tropical storm with 40 miles per hour winds. That's just because of the winds. Now, National Hurricane Center will not name this, if you care about those things, without a closed low. But since it's going to be tropical storm impacts, there is tropical storm warnings out all the way from southern Texas going all the way down towards northern Mexico. This means a lot of heavy rainfall, but it also means chances for at least 39 miles per hour sustained winds coming with this. So just prepare. It's going to be a lot of conditions coming your way. The flooding has transition your way, and you can also see these rings right here. These rings are representing tropical storm conditions with your wind field. So it's not bringing a lot of tropical storm winds into the area. It's going to crash and weaken immediately as soon as it hits. It will not strengthen anymore, neither to a hurricane, even though you have very warm waters. It don't have enough time. It's going to run out of time. Plus, the main thing to remember, as you can see, we have the two groups of thunderstorms. We have that northern group with all that convection. That's going to be headed towards Texas. All this southern and eastern group over here, this is going to hit towards Central America and Mexico, bring a lot of flooding towards them as well. So remember, it could have been a lot worse. It's not going to be as heavy. But you can see as we look a little bit closer, that northern group of thunderstorms will be coming towards Texas as you go through later this evening, starting around Lake Charles, coming towards Houston, but it's going to take that western pull. So that's going to bring everything further to the southern side before it goes any further to north like DFW. So this is going to bring a lot of heavy rainfall and storms all the way to Houston, all the way until tomorrow morning, is when it really comes on shore with a lot of heavy banding all the way until noontime. And then there you go for the afternoon and evening, going all the way towards San Antonio. Remember, this is Central Time, just like you. But you can also see as we go through today, we will get them storms. And we did get that capping on that group of storms I showed you yesterday. Those did not form. But you see, as you go through later this afternoon, you're going to have some strong storms, especially over here for northern Minnesota. This is where a lot of your winds are aloft, very powerful. Bring your chances for hail all the way into Canada, all down Minnesota, western Iowa. Look at this big hail trail. A little bit of eastern Nebraska going into Kansas by the time you go through 5 p.m. for this afternoon. This is when it's just going to sit there in those two areas. You got the trough, you got the high pressure ridge, and it's just stuck right here, getting smushed pretty much. But for the first part for today is where you're going to get that group of storms all evening long, all the way to 6 and 7. Then it's going to push out by 8 and 9 o'clock. Then it's going to be further to the north as you go through later for tonight. Then for tomorrow, it's going to come right back again for the south central and just keep stirring up these storms. But on the southern side, as you get in this storm system coming on shore with this banding, this is also bringing chances for tornadoes. Whatever's closest towards the center of circulation, that's where you're going to get your best chance for the banding to come on shore and bring you chances for tornadoes. I got an update on that as well. Now you can see for yesterday, we did have those wind damage and rainfall reports, but we also had some wind damage reports over here for the Ohio Valley and intercoastal northeast that wasn't even on the convective outlook. Now you can see the latest transition right here. Here we go with our storm system coming through with the low pressure. We have our high pressure over here. We have our trough coming in. We also have more high pressure kicking in, and this is going to raise our heat. It's going to make a bigger heat pattern kicking in, lasting longer, going all the way for the rest of this week. But you can see this is where the low pressure is starting to move to the west in the Gulf of Mexico in the Bay of Campeche. So this is going to bring your heat continuously while that moves to the west. Then this high pressure is going to move over here to the Atlantic, and our next wave is going to be a little bit further north, but I'm showing it's going to be weaker. So for today, you do see you have your chances for hail and your chances for winds. Even chances for hurricane force winds and significant hail in that black section right there. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. Also for your wind threat for today, we have some potential winds over here in the northeast again. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind threat for today. We also have a 2% chance for tornadoes. This doesn't mean this whole area is going to get tornadoes. It just means there's a possibility all the way through that line of storms. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. But I would like to point out again, you see here at National Weather Service with your chances for tornadoes for today. Colorado State University is seeing an uptick also in that chance for tornadoes, especially for those storms in northern Minnesota. This is where you have a lot of strong winds aloft. And as you get that storm system coming across the Gulf Coast for Louisiana and Texas, chances for tornadoes to whip by with those storm cells because they will be revolving around. And showing for tomorrow, National Weather Service has a little 2% for southern Texas chance for tornadoes. And Colorado State University is showing that uptick still, showing an intense chance for more tornadoes as that system comes onshore in Mexico. So we could see an upgrade for tomorrow, but so far it is your cities and states at risk for a chance for tornadoes, according to National Weather Service. And even though we had these very strong winds aloft, we did get that capping with those temperatures, and we did not have storms in that region at all the whole time we had that system come through last night and this morning. For today, you can see the winds will calm down, but it will come right back up for northern Minnesota, going towards northern Wisconsin and some of the UP of Michigan as you go to later this afternoon from 6 to 8 p.m. And it does stretch down towards Oklahoma, towards Kansas a little bit, panhandle of Texas, with some strong winds aloft as well as you go later into the evening. So you can see right when you get around 4 and 5 o'clock, really around 6 is when you really get those winds popping up. And this is where it starts kicking off stronger storms through northern Minnesota, through the UP of Michigan, and going through Wisconsin. So you got to be aware for the chances for these little supercells that come in front of this line of storms, bring in the damage and winds potentially with it, because this is what could spur up a quick tornado as you go through the evening, bringing those winds and those winds aloft that comes later around Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. You can see it does spin up some storms more for Kansas as you come through the evening. There's a lot of warm temperatures down here. That's why it's getting somewhat of a capping still on the southern side, but still popping up as you go through tomorrow morning for Kansas as those bruise up again towards Nebraska, towards Iowa, for tomorrow as that comes onshore and brings those storms. So there is chances for tornadoes. Still showing a big pocket of 40 up to 50 miles per hour wind gusts, even getting up towards that 60 in all of that red. A lot of strong winds coming with this storm system as it squeezes between these two pressure systems. And you see how it brings that 40 to 50, even pockets of 60 in a lot of these areas. So be warned of these storms coming through. It will be smushed into one area. And showing so far when PTC1, potential tropical cyclone 1, maybe tropical storm Alberto, could bring those 40 up to 50 miles per hour wind gusts coming all the way towards San Antonio. Just be aware that not only the rainfall, you do have some high winds coming, it is going to be tropical storm conditions. And these storms are going straight through Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the way through the UP of Michigan, all the way into Canada. Please be aware of that. But still, with your storm system sitting there and just bringing all that precipitation, you're getting a lot of heavy rainfall for the south central. Also, what's coming over here for the central plains and the north central as we get that storm system that comes through for today, and it winds up further southern for tomorrow, bringing 1 and 2+ inches of rainfall. But what's going over here in the south central is going to be very heavy. I know a lot of y'all need this rainfall, but this is a very heavy amount, at least 2 inches in that red. Once you go to that darker red, you're talking about a wide area of 4+ inches of rainfall, and very heavy area going from 6 and 7 inches towards Corpus Christi. This is going to bring a dramatic amount of flooding. Please, I know a lot of you are excited about this. I can't express this enough. This is too much rainfall in a short period of time. So remember, this link is in the description for you. Again, that way you can zoom in and see what your rainfall totals are. Remember, this is according to the GFS. Euro still does not see all that heavy rainfall whatsoever. So this is what National Weather Service and Weather Prediction Center, they're all going by. You can go by either one you want. Just zoom in and see what your rainfall rates are. And you can see over here for the southeast for the next wave, whether you go Euro or GFS, it's not doing much. But you can see in the next 10 days, we do got that other wave coming, potentially going in that direction, just like I've been talking about, and it could add up more towards Mexico and Texas. Matter of fact, you can see the whole transition of what I was just talking about happening right here with the Euro. So as you get your storm system brewing up for north central, upper Midwest, you have that high pressure of heat still sitting over here while you have PTC1 over here. Then as we go through, you can see that PTC1 keeps moving to the west while we get this big ridge of heat just building and building over here, bring a lot of hot temperatures all the way till Thursday. Then as we keep going, that moves further to the east, keeping that dome of heat going while we get that next wave still in the Bay of Campeche and still showing as we get that storm system by Saturday. Remember, bringing just a little bit potentially of severe weather that could go further to the north and bring nothing. Our next round is still that northern jet stream where there's no severe weather. And you can see that next storm system showing it will be something weak and maybe just an upper level low, a group of disorganized thunderstorms that is trending what we are looking at right here. The next storm system is not going to be anything strong at all. But you can see the transition. As we go through that, here's our high pressure over here. Here's your thing turning a little bit further towards the north. But you can also see that it is stretching way out to the west. So the turn to the north will be way over here, if anything. So it's showing less and less. We're still going on that break after this, but now I'm showing the newest update. After our break, we have more problems to come back to. So remember, this link is in the description for you as well, so you can go click on it as we go today, tomorrow, all this extreme heat. Major in the red, extreme in the purple. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then it's going to bottle up right here for Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes for multiple days. Then it's going to go down towards the southeast and the Mid-Atlantic for Sunday and Monday. So remember, all you got to do is go click on this. It'll give you your temperatures. In some places, is multiple days in the extreme. So please check on your neighbors, check on their pets, share this information so people can get this, because it's not just a storm. It's not just the tropics. This heat is going to be building all week. I did put this link in there for you as well, just like I told you last time. It's still bringing all these record temperatures as we go through tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because you can go and look through some of these and you'll see that we're breaking records all the way back from 1875 or longer. It's 150 years since y'all seen these temperatures this time of year. So it is going to be a very hot period. Now you can see this transition on the update. So as we go from the 25th all the way to the very beginning of July, we have another excessive heat. We have slight risk from the 29th through the 1st in this section. Also for the south, southeast, and the mid-Atlantic from the 25th all the way to the 1st. And over here going through Utah, some of northern Arizona, a little bit of eastern Nevada from the 25th through the 27th. Excessive heat. Not just that, some drought. So they are expecting flooding in this gray section from the 25th through the 1st of July. Also over here for the coast of Texas going through Louisiana. Heavy precipitation, also flooding expected. But over here in this orange section, this is expecting drought to persist as we go all the way to the beginning of July. So now you can understand what the latest tropical update is. You can see the disturbance 1 that's going for the northern Bahamas, going towards the coast of the lower 48, not doing anything. It's going to run out of time. It's still going to run through warmer waters right along the coast right before landfall. It's not going to do anything. Right before it crashes into the Carolinas, bringing y'all just some rainfall. And you can see over here you have PTC1, but you also got a disturbance that's forming up in the southern half, the Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche. It's at 20% chance for the next 7 days. This is what's going to be our next week anomaly. Just like I showed you in the last video, just like I showed you in this video, this is bringing that next chance of flooding coming towards Texas and Louisiana from the 25th through the 1st. Latest intensity guidance on PTC1 still showing chance for a tropical storm to form up in the next 36 hours, but then quickly weaken down because of landfall, and they're all in agreement. But you can see the path is going to stay a tropical storm, then go quickly down to a tropical depression, and still got the tropical storm warnings out. Showing in the next 3 days of rainfall. All this green will be 1 inch. The darker green, we can expect 2 inches. Once you go towards this yellow, it starts going 4 inches and 5 inches. Once you go to this darker yellow, this is more like 6 and 7 inches. But these spots of orange is going to be 8 inches plus of rainfall coming with this system so far. And you can see it does bring 1 inch of rainfall towards Louisiana a little bit also. And you can see here that you will be in that moderate section all the way until tomorrow morning with that slight risk. Then all the way until Thursday morning, it will grow that moderate section towards San Antonio with that slight risk going all the way across southern Texas. And as you go through Friday morning, it will downgrade, but still be in that slight risk for western Texas. Showing your chances for storm surge in the blue over here for Louisiana, 1 to 3 feet possible. All this yellow all the way into Galveston Bay. Chances for 2 to 4 feet storm surge from the system just onshore pushing of this moisture, and 1 to 3 feet down here for southern Texas. Also, your chances for tropical storm force winds. I showed you chances for 40s, maybe pockets for 50s going up towards San Antonio. But they have chances for at least 39 miles per hour sustained winds, not wind gusts. That it will be somewhere around the 10% range. A little bit stronger right here for the coast of northern Mexico, 20 to 30. But that's about it. Bringing some 40 miles per hour wind gusts, maybe a little bit of 50s as it quickly weakens down. You can see the latest update. Chance for a tropical depression, definitely 100%. Will be a tropical storm right before landfall. That was always the trend. As you get that next wave going towards Florida in 4 and 5 days, just bringing some more moisture, maybe on the northern side of that. And that next wave starts forming up in 6 days and 7 days, potentially doing the same thing according to this. Same path, a lot weaker, won't even be a strong tropical depression, but it's in the same areas. Look at that, in the same areas as we go through the days. Then after that is going to be closing down on our tropics. Everything's going to be southern and western in the MDR and the Caribbean, but then it's going to get active again. You can see this here when you look for your chance for your cyclone locations. As PTC1 goes to the west, tropical storm, tropical depression, Alberto. As it goes there, brings winds, brings a flooding. The next system will remain weak as that goes to the west, and it is at agreement almost with all of them. Nothing big forming out of that. Then our tropics is going to be closed for quite some time. Everything's going to stay weak and southern. Even the GOES satellite that shows the next one potentially spinning there and becoming a hurricane. You can see how PTC1 goes. We get that high pressure of heat still building all through the weekend. And that next one is going to be something rather weak as that comes through. Probably just some more rainfall. The Euro ensemble, which is a long range, it shows the same thing with PTC1. It shows the same thing with that next wave. A little bit further to the north, but still very weak. This will put a little bit of rainfall into Texas. A lot smaller numbers than you're seeing now. Now, the only thing that's showing something different is the GFS. It still shows it will come and spin there like the GOES satellite did show, but it did not show in the update. And maybe get another VOR to see another surface low forming up and going around towards Florida. And that's what I've been seeing, is maybe a late formation can come out of that. I will see what the latest trend will be. I will keep you updated. That is not showing true. You can see the latest update on the long range of the Euro, that all that favorable environment will get persisted by a lot of unfavorable environment in our region all the way into about the 10th of July. Now, unfortunately, the newest information shows that when we come back from that break, we do have 2 potential systems, areas that could get a lot of convection, a lot of lift, could get a lot of favorable environment from the middle of July towards the end of July right in our region. So we'll keep you updated. If you've never been here before, make sure you click that bell when you subscribe. That way you get the updates. Otherwise, you won't get them. You can see the latest with the GOES satellite, bring all that precipitation towards Texas and Mexico. Then after that, we have that next wave forming up later, getting a lot of dry air, a lot of dust inside of that. That's why that one will stay and remain weak as that pushes to the west. Then after that, we have all this dust that's going to be in the Caribbean and the MDR. Been screaming for a long time. Another wave tries as you go through the very end of June. But look at all that dust that is waiting to wrap inside of that. We will be on a break after this. Thank you for your time, everybody. Hope you have a great day today. Please prepare for the heat. Prepare for these storms coming through. Also prepare for the flooding happening. If you know someone that's in these impacts, please think about sharing this video, this information to others. That way they can see it for themselves, what is happening, so they can prepare themselves. Thank you again for helping. I really appreciate that. Now, before you go today, some very wise words. Proverbs 10, 1 through 7. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causes shame. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. Amen. I hope you all will be safe today. I wanted to do an afternoon update this afternoon, but I don't see any changes in any of this information that I'm talking about here on this video for today. The next wave has been trending very weak. The path of PTC1 is set in stone, and what's going on with the severe weather is not going anywhere but the same area. So we're pretty much going to be in this pattern. It's not going to change. I'll see you again for tomorrow morning. Remember, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life, you and your family, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody, and be safe.